Time for our Toyota game recap and a rough start for the Nuggets. Can't get a bucket on one end and give up an easy one on the other end. It's 11-2 Wolves right out of the chute. That's not a good start. Then the Nuggets get sloppy. They turn it over, leads to a Minnesota three, and this guy hits threes.
Yeah, he does. I mean, they've missed him when he's been out of the lineup. He's been back in, and their three-point profile has gotten better ever since.
All right, stop messing around. Give it to the big fella and let him go.
Ooh, coast to coast in 2.2 seconds.
They cut the lead in half, but the Wolves, they've got three-point shooters, and they can all shoot them. Julius Randle made 3 of them tonight. Minnesota's up 8 after 1. We go to the second quarter. From bad to worse. There's a brick 3, but look at that. Mike Conley steals it. Ant-Man deals it. That kind of night for the Nuggets.
That's the second chance points. There's 3 right there. All the Nuggets should have had.
Back come the Nuggets. Just feed the man. Feed the Serbian. He had 34 points. Let him eat. The Nuggets were down 9 at halftime. We go to the second half. This is more like it. The Nuggets make a push here, guys. Jamal's going to find Christian Brown, and they're right back in this game. They're down by 5. Things are looking up.
That is a difficult pass. That is not easy.
Very much so. But every time the Nuggets got close, wide open threes for these guys.
Yeah, just dribble penetration, collapses your defense, kick out for an open 3.
And then Ant-Man goes to work. When he goes downhill, just lights out. Good luck stopping him.
Oh.
Not many people can.
Little matador do you there.
All right, Nuggets were down 16. It's going to take a huge fourth quarter to get back in this game, and this doesn't help. Randall, the lead is now 18. A little later, after another Nuggets turnover, they've got so many weapons. Naz Reid in the corner. All right, game's over. No need for any more highlights. The game was over with 10 minutes to play.
Yeah.
You know, the Nuggets cut it to 5 in that third period. And then the Timberwolves, they had 6 made threes in that third quarter. They stopped any kind of run the Nuggets tried to put together.
Yeah, 6 made threes in the third for Minnesota, 7 in the entire game for the Nuggets. And, you can't get outscored at the three-point line quite that drastically and keep yourself in a game. And so, look, I mean, for the Nuggets, it's about being able to generate those a little bit better. They'll figure this out. I mean, it's 3 games against the Minnesota Timberwolves. One of them you don't have AG. The other one, AG is coming off the bench because he was returning from injury and on a minutes restriction. And so you have yet to really play this team the way you want to play them. And I think that will make a difference in the future.
Jamal Murray only had 1 point at halftime. He finished with 12. Right now he's downstairs talking to Altitude Sports.
Without looking back at the film, kind of where did this go wrong, and what were they doing to you guys?
Nothing that stood out. We just got to put the ball in the hoop a little bit better and space for each other and take care of the ball and get back on defense. So a lot of things.
You think after the 2 games in Oklahoma City, mentally and emotionally, was it hard to come back and get ready for this one?
I use those excuses, bro. It's another game on the schedule that we lost and we didn't come out or play the way we need to play. We can say we're tired. We can say we're hurt and banged up. Everybody's hurt and banged up. We got to come out play better.
What you guys need to do better?
Oh, everything. I mean, the same questions over and over. Got to play better. Got to come out better. I got to play better. I got to shoot better. When I'm open, I got to make it. I don't know what you guys want to hear.
Because this is kind of an outlier, and it's been a couple games against them, but in general, y'all haven't had too many of these. Does that make it a little easier to kind of stomach and move on, knowing that this isn't a trend or that you've had a bunch of games like this?
No, I mean, it's just disappointing. We just, after coming off back-to-back, good back-to-back, it's a tough one today. It's when you don't have to put the ball in the hoop and, give them a lot of open shots or transition buckets, stuff like that. It just, compounds the scoreboard. So it was, it wasn't our night.
Just like with the second chances, what did you feel like for it to turn 12 into 29? What did you feel like was kind of?
I think it's just those key moments in the game where it's a turnover or we get a stop and then we give it right back, or there's so many times in these games, even against OKC, is just the second chance points, the amount of second chance points that they have after a good defensive play. I mean, that's everybody. We all got to come back and stop leaking out and just rebound and take it one thing each possession at a time. So it was tough tonight. Obviously they shot it well and from 2 at least. And, we didn't. I mean, sometimes that's just the way the game goes,
There aren't a whole lot of teams that beat you guys a few times in a row like Minnesota has, even with a very different roster than they had last season. Are there any trends that you kind of detect, I guess, across the three this season, even going back into the
I think it's just it's a team thing. It's a group thing. It's not one person or a couple of people. It's just repeat myself. The turnovers, the rebounding, just stuff that leads to big leads and, missed free throws. Or what else? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we could have done better than that. We just, we didn't get it done. So, like I said, it was frustrating, but we'll bounce back like we always do.
Thank you.
Jamal Murray telling it like it is, need to be better. And so does Bill Hanzik. Like, you're half asleep tonight, son.
I got to be better.
Yeah. Breaks Plus, over 60 Colorado locations to serve you. Stop of the game was, every Minnesota stop. They had a lot of them.
Yeah, it was a tough defense to have to face, and especially when you're coming off of a couple of emotional games on a road trip. They had rest, and so they were motivated and energized to come after you, and they did.
Shot attempt right there.
Look at Joker. Just give it to me one time. One time. Well, we're going to give him one time when we come back. We'll hear from Nikola Jokic right after this timeout. You're watching Nuggets Postgame Live. All right, if you need a reason to smile tonight, here it is. Number 34 is Chris Dempsey, back in his Montbello days.
Debs, you're packing a little extra on that backside right there in the white.
Number 4 is Chauncey Billups, Hall of Famer, who takes it right from him, takes his cookies, and dunks it home.
Why are we showing
Dempsey?
this?
Dempsey doing what he does best,
Turning
giving the
over.
ball to the other team.
Fun fact about that game, I scored 37 points in that game.
You did not score 37.
I did not. I scored maybe 7 in that game.
Look at Chauncey laughing at you there.
I know. Why is he that happy? It's not like I was it was, look, I will say this. It was so much fun playing in those games against George Washington. We played the majority of them at Metro because of how many people we couldn't play them at the school. Because so many people wanted to see me.
All right, so Dempsey wore number 34 in high school. Nikola Jokic had 34 points tonight. Let's go downstairs.
That's our only similarity.
Nikola, this is obviously a very physical matchup, a very charged matchup between these two teams. What did they do maybe on the defensive end against you guys that kind of bothered you? And
they're into the ball. They know what they're trying to do in off screens, in pick and rolls, and post ups, and then they're really aggressive, and they have personnel for that, and they're a good team.
There aren't a whole lot of teams that beat you guys a few times in a row. They've won 5 straight now, going back to the playoff series.
Yeah.
Obviously different rosters, but are there any trends that you kind of see through this stretch of games that you guys
All
have?
the 5, they beat us pretty easy. So we need to be better. We need to do a better job. I don't know what, but it seemed like we are not playing good against them. Or maybe they don't let us play good against them.
What type of dynamic does Julius Randle add to what they do?
He's leading them in the last I don't know how many games in assists, so he's really going downhill, looking for matchups, looking for mismatches, and I think now they're kind of they're figuring out. I think in the beginning they were kind of didn't know what to do, but I think right now they're like doing a much better job, and everybody's kind of know what to do and where to be on his drives or whatever.
Nicole, is it easy because you haven't had too many losses like this? It's more of an outlier and not a pattern. Easier to stomach a loss like this, knowing that you guys have played so well consistently throughout the year?
I mean, I don't know. I want to win every game, so if I lose, I don't think any loss is really easy for the stomach. So yeah, it's when someone beats you so many times in a row, it's something that you need to figure out. You need to think about it.
Do you think you guys were emotionally and physically exhausted after the Oklahoma City series?
No, I don't think so. We had day off, so we shouldn't be.
Nikola, Coach Malone wasn't bothered by the 12 offensive rebounds, but he was pretty stunned by the 29 second chance points. So, like, what can you guys do better, even after giving up an offensive rebound, to limit their looks, I guess?
I mean, they're really good at that. You know, they're first of all, they're taller than us. That's how they attack. You know, even though they miss, they have McDaniels who is crashing from the corner. They have Rudy and Randall who are the low down there. Even the small, the Vincenzo, Mike only had a really kind of stayed in back and took the ball. So that's what they do. That's what they're doing.
If you had to pick one thing that you think would give you.
Do you think he's listening to a horse race on his AirPod while doing that interview?
Yes, correct.
Do you know what his T-shirt says?
Brate, brother.
Oh, you knew that?
Dude, I speak 17 languages.
Gotta love
the path ahead. Not easy for the next one because we know the Lakers are never easy. Not with Luka. But they won't have LeBron Friday night.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge difference. I mean, it just is. I mean, that team is trying to be, a contender, but it cannot be without both of those guys in their lineup. And hands, you see the Golden State Warriors on this list as well. Yeah, and the Portland Trailblazers beat the Knicks tonight. So just a lot of challenging situations for the Nuggets.
The double Lakers, Golden State, fascinating stretch of games. Nuggets have to beat the Wizards. You have to beat Portland. Yeah. Get two of those other three, and then you've got a great week.
You know what? Don't you think you got to beat the Lakers twice? If you want to finish second,
you got to beat them twice.
Let's beat them twice.
Yeah,
I mean that is, and just kind of usher them out of that conversation.
Vic, are you going to start the use your daddy?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what would Minnesota say right now, right?
Yeah.
It works both ways. I mean, so let's end the show with a couple comments. Is this just a bad matchup for the Nuggets? Is that what it's down to, or what is it? I mean, do you want the Nuggets to face Minnesota in the playoffs?
No.
So it's a bad matchup.
What do I often talk about on this show?
Defense.
That's right. And Minnesota's got like the best defensive team in the NBA. They're going to be a handful no matter who they play.
Yeah.
And they defend, they're physical, and they make threes. And that's a good moxie for the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, look, I tend to agree there. I wouldn't necessarily want to see him. However, if the Nuggets are going to be fully healthy and you're going to have Aaron Gordon out there, then fine. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're still talking about a situation where the Nuggets were winning by 20 points in Game 7 on their home court in the second half last year.
Why'd you bring that up?
Just to say that this is not an invincible team. This is not an insurmountable situation. And I will say this about the Timberwolves. As well as they're playing right now, they have had issues finding a consistent second scorer all season long. It just happened to be Julius Randle here today. So they are not. There's a reason why they inhabit the 7th spot and not the 3rd spot. So, we'll see.
All right, Nuggets dropped their 3rd straight to the Wolves this season. I want to thank our loyal fans who stuck around for this entire show tonight. 34 from Joker was not enough. The Nuggets started slow, finished slow, and they lose big. We'll see you again Friday night, sports fans. The Lakers, the Lake Show.
Lake Show.
Can't wait for that one.
Who's your daddy?